of how to use what I will now call the classic process. The classic process is using the Tekken Ninja tool and using US renamers and swapping existing stuff and then doing some mods and some adjustments in Blender, but not using completely new meshes, using everything that's already there, but just tweaking it and changing it around. So he wanted to add two full body things to one slot, right? Because as you start modding more, you'll want more spots to put stuff and layer things together, and you mainly want a little piece of one thing and things of that nature. So uh, I was gonna write out like a little mini tutorial on how to do this CCI swap or the multi CCI setup, but I figure it's easier to just go ahead and do this. Now, for anybody that watches this and is trying to get some information, this is assuming you have a a pretty good understanding of the classic methods. There's tutorials out there, things of that nature. Feel free to hit me up on Discord or on Twitch or wherever if you want to get some specifics or get your feet in the door, so to speak. But so what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and set it up. I'm going to actually open up Tekken for right now so we can get some examples and some examples of what we're going to be doing. Um, you can find on most of the mods that we have out right now. Well, some of the mods that we currently have are using the new tech. Most of the mods that are coming out using the new tech, but there's been a lot of new modders coming out and doing different things. Let's see if I can pull up maybe one of mine. Oh, that's loading up. I don't know if I have any multi CCIs. I don't recall. Well, I think my bear one here is a multi CCI where I uh, I needed the skin of the bear and the shoes and whatever, and I put them all together into one slot. So you didn't. Well, I think actually these are actually accessories, so that's not a good example. Let's see, what do I have here? You know what? I don't know if I've released. Oh, so like my Heihachi one. My Heihachi one. Let's see. I took these pants from Ganryu, I think. So there's Ganryu's pants, and I think this is from. This might be from Heihachi. I think this is from Heihachi, and I put them all in one slot. So if you pick this bear right here, you'll get the pants and the wristbands. But I didn't want anything else, right? I just wanted those two things. So that's an example where I made it easy. Otherwise, I'd have to do a different slot for everything. And if you remember all the early mods, that's pretty much how everybody did it. They had to have a specific slot for each thing that we did. Until somebody found the multi CCI method. And then that opened the door to how we can mix and match and combine things into a single mod. But the first thing you want to do is figure out what you want to mod and what you want to do. Now, I'm not going to do anything too insane, but it's just going to be a ridiculous mod we're going to do right now. So let's find a typical character. Now, I don't want to use Geese, and I don't want to use Noctis, and Zafina might be okay, but Geese and Noctis have encrypted files, and I don't even want to mess with that. Asuka has a special skeleton, and we're actually going to use her slot. That sounds bad, but we're going to use one of her CCI as a structure for the multi CCI. So I'm not going to use her because it really won't work. Jack has his own skeleton, and so does Kazuya, because Kazuya switches into devil form. So for those characters, it's not really worth messing around with. But let's find another thing. And also when you're swapping, for the most part, I try to keep it male to male, female to female, because their skeletons are smaller for the females and the males are a lot bigger, different shoulders and things of that nature. So if you're just using this method, I would stick to the basics. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna switch everything onto like one thing. So let's take law. Like I don't use law. So I'm gonna take a look at law here. Hold on, what's going on? I can't switch over. Oh, let me do this real quick. All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna take a look at law right here, and I'm just gonna use his basic form, right? We're just gonna use just his topless, right, shirtless version. And I'm just gonna throw a whole bunch of stuff on top of it. So let's see, what do we want to put on shirtless law? Let's see. Let's take I don't know. Let's see what does Heihachi have. Let's see. All right, so let's make it so that he's got what's something unique to Heihachi? Maybe an outfit. Does he have a unique outfit? All right, let's take this tiger outfit. I don't know if it's gonna fit, but we're gonna try to take this tiger coat. I think it's the only one. Let's see. But hopefully his name tiger coat, so I don't have to like look all over for it. But we're gonna take his tiger coat and we'll put that on. Let's see what else we want. Let's take because I always love this one. Kazuya has these what's it called? Gold accessories. So we'll take those gold accessories. We'll give that to him. Yeah, look at them gold accessories. So we can take those gold accessories, give those to Law. And let's see. What else do we have? Does anybody else have any like chains? Oh, it's not separate. I don't feel like doing that. Let's see. Let's see what Eddie has. And so, as far as I know, there's only so we've got Eddie's chains up here. So we can take his chains. So let's just pimp him out, right? He's just gonna have chains and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, cool. And let me close that. All right, so now I know what I want to do, right? I want to take Law's top body, and I want to add Kazuya's necklace, and then Eddie's chains from his first player one outfit, and then what do we say? Something from Heihachi. I don't know. Yeah, Heihachi's cloak or something. All right, so the first thing we need to do is grab our CCI. I prefer to avoid working directly from my backup files, so I always make a copy of it. Is this US a renamer? All right, this is a bunch of stuff I was just working on, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop this into a box. All right, let's see. Oops. This is my all character skeleton bones. So we can grab all these items right here. Throw them in here so that my work area is nice and clean. All right, so I'm gonna go into Tekken game content character item customize because I want the customized character item asset, right? So let's see, we're just gonna start with Law. So here we go. Here is Law, and we're gonna use his upper body. Go to upper, and it is naked one. There it is, right here. And now I'm gonna go ahead and grab Alyssa's. And the reason we use Alyssa's, I'll show you in a moment why we use Alyssa's. I'm gonna grab her full body, and I'm gonna grab her winter dress. Right, paste. And we're gonna use US swapper to swap this too. But before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and open up compare it so we can kind of take a quick look at what's going on and why we're switching it. So I'll start with Laws, and then we'll compare it with Alyssa's. US renamer, Alyssa. All right, so when we look at a typical CCI file, we open it up, and all it is the basic CCI that it is, and then a character item. It's a file path to a character item, right? And then the character item includes all the relevant skeletal meshes that you need, and then the skeletal meshes include the MI. So if you just switch the CCI, then you're going to take all of that stuff with it. and it's going to place it wherever it's supposed to fit on like the bones of the character. And one thing, and then if I, oh, well, yeah. All right, so that's what that does, right? Now, this is most character CCI, very simple. Just has this and this. Sometimes you'll have an item that has two slots, and usually the hats have two slots for the girls and things of that nature because the item is one slot and then the hair is another slot. So let's look at Alyssa. So if I look at Alyssa, I see that there is three slots. I've got this is the main body, this is her left arm, and this is her right arm. And then this is the actual CCI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and switch those two together. So open up US and renamer. Start with the one that I want, which is the law, and then click on the obstacle one. It creates a new one that's right there. Right? If I go in and take a look at it real quick, I can see that the change has taken effect. Open it up, and there it is. I've got, it says CCI for law, but it has all of Asuka's stuff. But it has this bottom CCI, which is still laws, which is what I need. Since I still want to use his body, I need to make sure that this is the same. It's also important to note that whichever this and this one is, that will control the fingers. So if you're going to include the hands, or you've got gloves or things that are dealing with like the hand animations, you need to have that as your character item up here, or else it won't work. So if I want to switch, I need to switch this out so it's the main one. So I'm going to go ahead and select it like this, copy. I'm going to rename my CCI file to that CI file. And now I'm going to go find that law. Excuse me. I'm going to find the top of the law CI. I'm going to select that first because that's what I want to keep and we'll actually put in there. We'll go to upper, naked. Now I'm going to go back to the file I renamed, select that one. And now I have a new one. This one right here is useless. I'll go ahead and throw it away. Since I didn't close this, this still remembers the last thing I opened. So I'm going to go back, and I'm not going to select this again, but I'm going to select the name of the actual CCI. Copy that. Save it. What do I have two? Oh, I have two because I had this one already. If you put anything after here, after a UASA, it makes it no longer a UASA file, and it won't give you that error. And now this is the new one. So I usually keep this one until I'm sure this one is correct. So it's not that. If I go back and compare it and take a look, I have to reopen it because I had opened it when it said new. I can verify that everything is taken is where I want. Now, in these slots, all I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing I did for here, but I'm going to go ahead and select those items that we had just picked. So I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to rename this one again. And I'm renaming it to this CCI, and I'm going to I'll keep that the way it is. Now I'm going to go back to US or renamer, and I'm going to go find what I want to replace. So I'm going to go find, let's see, customize. Let's see, we said Kazuya's accessories. I think it's upper accessories. Which one is it? It's like gold something. I think it's these metal accessories. I think is what it is. All right, so I'll click that. If it's wrong, we'll find out in a moment. Click the one that I want. Click the one I want to get rid of. And now it switches. Now I could rename it back to the CCI file and go in and check it, but I know I did that process correctly. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this one. And I don't have to reset. I can just keep going from there. I'm going to go back into the compare file, and I'm going to grab this one. Copy it. Paste it here. And now I'm going to go find my next item. And you know what? I'm going to show you what to do if you don't want to use all the items. Well, we'll do that in a second. So let's go ahead and find our other item, which was, let's see, Heihachi's tiger outfit. An upper. Does it say tiger? I hope it does. That's his t-shirt tiger. This is the tiger. All right, so let's grab the tiger. Click on this. Delete that one because I don't need it anymore. And now I'm going to grab the last one. Now, you don't have to use all of them. You don't have, oops, not that. I need to grab this. You don't have to grab and use all of these slots. If you just want to put one extra thing on there, that's fine. Won't be any big deal. And you can pretty much cancel those out. And I'll show you how to cancel them out in just a second. So I switched that over. I'm going to go find the last thing I want to add on top of here, which is, let's see. I think I said Eddie's, something from Eddie. Eddie's upper dancer. I don't even know I can't remember what it is. I'll just pick this dancer one. I don't know if that's right. I know it's got to be unique to him though, so keep it. I'm gonna go back to where I was. Click on it. Got a new asset. Delete that one. Now that I've done all of that, now I'm gonna go ahead and reset. Name it back to this. So essentially, you've got 4 different items all combined into one slot. And it doesn't matter if they're upper body or lower body, you can still put them, it doesn't matter. Just know that if you pick an upper body slot, you can only use one upper body slot in your mod, one lower body slot in your mod. And I believe there's a way to like even compile it even more, but that's, you guys can play around with that. I'm not gonna mess with that one. I've never had to go that far. There's always been better ways to handle it. Right, I'm just gonna make this 0 also because I just don't want to see it. And I think there's one other thing that happens when we do this. I'll find out in a second. Yes. So for whatever reason, whenever you make this, you do a CCI on multi, the path is, for me at least, has always been wrong, right? And I can go ahead and redo the path because I don't want it to be Kazuya. I want it to be law stuff. And so I'm going to change that to law. And then I'm going to change this to upper. I'm going to make sure I change this to, let's see, Multi CCI demo. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save it. Boom. So now I saved it. And I'm pretty sure that when I go back in here, it's going to resort back to it. So I just have to keep in mind that I have to make that change each time I update this CCI. All right, I'm going to go ahead and launch Tekken. We'll take a quick look at it and see what monstrosity was created. But it's a pretty simple process. Trying to figure out how the biggest issue that you'll run into when you're doing this is that the items may not fit correctly. They might not fit perfectly. You might see some gaps. You might see some weird spots. You might have some parts of those items you don't want to actually have in your mod. From this point, now that you kind of have a good idea of what it all looks like, you'll go in and decide how to mod those different spots and make it a cool mod. But that'll be for a different video or a different time. For now, I just want to get the basic process and understanding out there. So let's go to law, take a look. Let's see what we got here. Where's law? I'll never use this character. Here we go. And I'm going to go to, oop, did I pass it? Which one is it? What did I put it on? What? Did I not put it on? All right, so as always, I must have did something wrong in the thing. And I think I have an idea what I did wrong, but we'll find out in a second. Mm-hmm. You just verify that that's the right. Oh, see, that's not what I want. I don't want a CCI right there. I was going too fast. So yeah, so that's ridiculous, right? All right, so what happened was I made this new path because that's what this system is looking for. I'm not sure exactly how it's set up, but it's looking for this path. I changed the path, but it took and renamed the asset to something I don't want. So I don't want that to happen. So there's a couple things you can do uh, to still use this tool and then kind of make things uh, easier for yourself. Or you can do a manual pack. You can do a manual pack of your mod, and that's fine too. Um, I want to show you how to do the manual pack real quick, because if you have this and it's working, then you also have U4 pack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my pack folder. I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to delete that pack. Actually, you know what? I'm going to just make a new one. All right. So we'll say that's demo 0. I'll call this demo 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab the original CCI, because all I want this program to do right now is make the folder structure for me. And I like to have the folder structure made procedurally or through like a different app, because it keeps me from misspelling something or doing whatever. Because if it's not exactly right, it won't work. So if I open this up, I can see now that everything is reading correctly, and I'm going to go ahead and save that. So what I have right now is a mod that doesn't do anything. It's going to put the CCI from the original right in the same spot where it always has been. But that's not what I want. I want to take this one and replace it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead. I usually like to try to keep 2 full Explorer windows open. So I'm going to go to my pack folder. I'm going to find that mod, right, number 1. I'm going to locate it in here. Customize law upper. And I'm going to drag it over here, hold control to copy it, say yes to replace it. And so now this is the modded version. Is now in my my pack folder, but it's not in the game yet, right? It's just in the pack folder. I have to actually pack it up. So I'm going to go to U4 pack. Or actually, the way I have mine set up is I have a pack folder, and then I made a shortcut of the drop mod folders here, and a shortcut to my packed up mods, and that's pretty much the same thing as what's right here. So U4 pack is where my stuff is at. I've got a shortcut of this, and then a shortcut of this. That way I don't have to run all over the place. So I'm going to go to Multi CC1, whatever. I'm going to make sure that my game is off. All right, so Tekken's off. I'm going to go to the Multi CCI demo 1P, drop mod folder here, hit enter. It's going to pack up that super simple mod. Hit OK. I'm going to go into my pack folder, and I'm going to grab it, and I'm just going to copy it to my mods folder. And I'm going to replace the one that's already there. Because when I did it in here and this was selected, it made it and put this dummy version into my mods folder. So now I have manually packed up my mod, and I'm good to go. So I should be able to go ahead and start the game. Oh, I want to turn that other one off. I don't think it's going to have any impact because it's to the wrong thing. But typically, I should have either turned that off or deleted it completely. I don't think I'll be able to turn it off right now or delete it. Not once the game is started. All right, cool. Hmm. All right, let's take a look at law. There he is. Look at him. Look at that bad boy. He's got the dancer outfit from Eddie. He's got uh he's got some chains on. And he can't see all the chains on his wrist, unfortunately. Because it's all crazy. Now I don't believe any of this is colorable either. No. And the slot itself isn't even a colorable slot. So you can make changes to colors. You can if you choose a slot that doesn't have any colors in it, you won't be able to color anything. So you can definitely make a change. And this can be moved to whatever slot that you want it to be in. And it's very simple. So all you'll do is you'll just trade the slot you want with this new slot that you created and then repack it all up and you'll be good to go. But there we go. We've got everything combined onto one single slot right here. It all works. Now, if you notice, there are hands sticking out of hands, right? And that's usually not something that you want. So the way to fix that is to go into, you'd have to go into the skeleton, the actual skeletal mesh file, and turn the hands invisible and do some other stuff. But for now, that's how you actually combine the different items. And you can put accessories on there if you want to. You can put, I don't know about auras. I don't think auras will move. They're not the same type of item. But you can put different hats all together. You can combine hairs together and have two different hairstyles on one character. But you can only use each one of these categories once, right? Just like in the game. So that's how you set up your multi CCI in general. The last thing I'll show you before I go ahead and cut this short stream is how to negate something, so to speak. Okay, so say I don't want to, let me open up the actual one. This one. All right, whatever. Select anything. Cool. All right, so say I don't want something in here. Like say I don't want, let's see, the tiger outfit. I want to turn the tiger outfit off. I can't do anything in here, and I'm not going to do anything with UAsset Renamer. Instead, I'm going to use a hex editor to make that change. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up my hex editor, which I think I have open already. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the CCI that you want to edit. Boom. I'm just going to make it so I can see it better. And I want to find the item that I don't want actually on here. And it could be the default ones that Asuka has, or just anything new you put in that you decide you want to take off for right now. I'm going to take off the tiger. So all I got to do is go in here. I'm going to hit Z, so that way that doesn't exist. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And I'm going to have to go ahead and repack it up. So earlier I did a manual pack. So I'll show you one of the ways that you can kind of bypass having to do a manual pack of the whole thing. Eh, for multi CCIs, actually, no, I'm not going to show you because I think it's better to do a manual pack for your multi CCIs just to make sure you don't run into issues like I did earlier, right? You don't want to do that. Then you have to go back out and fix it, and that's a pain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to my pack folder, find my mod, go in here, here, and now you can do what I typically do is I'll take this and I'll rename this one to 1. And that tells me in my little system that this is one that works, but it's kind of ugly, right? You can write whatever you want to at the other side of this U asset. You could say uh, no hands or something or whatever you want so you remember what this one is. And you can paste this one in here. Now you can't do that for the one that you paste in. This has to be what the original name is. But you can, if you really want to, is you can make a copy of it. So I can sit there and just say copy and edit paste. And then I'm going to rename this one to 2. Now the game isn't going to open these up at all. It's not even going to look at those because they're not asset files. But now I know this is my original one and this is my edited one. So for whatever reason, if this doesn't work, I could just delete it and then reactivate these ones at will by just removing the 1 or the 2. So I'm going to go ahead and that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm going to back all the way up to my pack folder, drop it in here, back it all up. Now let me go ahead and get out of the game. All right, so my pack is done. I've got 3 new items in there. Only one's actually going to be active. Before you release a mod, go in and get rid of those extra ones. There's no reason for them to be in there. They take up extra space. I mean, in this case, they're only taking up 7 kilobytes, so whatever. But in some cases, you might be trying to do different things, and you'll have a whole bunch of just remnants of pieces of the mod that's not actually being used, but just taking up storage space. So go ahead and clean those up. All right, so I went ahead and packed it up. If I go in here, I like to always check the dates to make sure they're in the times, to make sure it's close to when I did it. Because sometimes I'll start doing it and then walk away, and I'm like, wait, when did I do that? But you can always just redo the process if you want to. I'm just going to delete this pack right here. I don't need it. But all right, so this is the new one. I'm going to go ahead and copy it to my mods folder. Copy. And go ahead and open up Tekken. And I think what I got rid of was the let's see what I got rid of. I got rid of Heislumper. Now you also notice that whenever you put your mod in, and if you do put it in a colorable slot, you'll notice that the coloring is going to be different. If you're using the Alyssa one, it's always going to be like the pink color that her stuff is defaults to. To change that, what you're going to do is you're going to find whatever item you want to be colored. Like say I wanted his dancer jacket to be colored. I need to figure out which material item this is using, and then I'm going to rename these. And I'll rename it in hex. That's the only place I can rename it. And all you'll do is you'll go over to it, just to right click and paste whatever it is in there. It can be tricky when you start getting into coloring and things of that nature because it uses masks and the colors have to line up with the correct mask and different things. So it's a little bit of work. So I'm not going to go into it right now. I just want to show you. I don't know if I saved or not. All right, then. So as you can see right now, there are no pieces. All right, and then look, it's got Eddie's hands are sticking out. But we're not going to fix that right now. I just want to show you how to put the jacket on. Now, whatever accessory piece that I put on was not the right one. So I had to go back and figure out what it is so I could put it on. But that's how you do it. That's how you add it. Now, if I wanted to put his jacket back on and take this one off, I could do the same thing. I could switch it, just rename it back to CCI instead of ZCI, and vice versa, and whatever. But yeah, that's how you do a multi CCI. I'm going to just keep that on there since I never used the character. And that's it. That's all I got. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Either hit me up through Twitch, or if you know me on Discord, hit me up there. Or if you see me in the game, it's the same thing. CDDT Reborn all over the place. I think I got a Twitter. I got all kinds of stuff. So just let me know if you have any questions, and I can kind of help you out with some of the specifics. But for now, that's all I got.